The Galactic Council Hall floated above the gas giant Telnara, a huge station made of shining black metal. Inside, leaders from over 50 alien species gathered. The hall was filled with sharp voices, deep growls, and the strange hum of translators. On the center platform, a giant hologram showed the blue and green planet called Earth. "They call themselves humans," said a tall, insect-like alien with 6 arms. His voice was filled with mockery. "A small, young race. They have weak ships, weak weapons, and even weaker bodies. I doubt they would survive 1 month against a real war." A reptilian general with scales the color of bronze laughed, his forked tongue flicking. 1 month? You are too generous, my friend. Give them a week, maybe less. 1 strong fleet could burn their planet to dust. The council chamber echoed with laughter. Some aliens even began making jokes, mimicking the way humans walked, the way they dressed, the way they spoke. To them, humanity was just another primitive race in a galaxy filled with stronger civilizations far away. On a small listening outpost in human space, Captain Elias Ward stood at the main console. He watched the council's transmission in silence. Every insult, every laugh was recorded. His jaw tightened. He did not speak, but his crew could see the anger in his eyes. "Sir, should we send this recording to Earth Command?" asked his communications officer. Elias nodded. "Send it, and send the rest. The Council is not preparing for peace. They are preparing for war." On Earth, deep under the mountains of Colorado, the leaders of humanity sat in a hidden war room. Generals, admirals, scientists, and politicians studied the recordings. The alien fleets were moving, gathering near human borders. "They think." "We are weak," said Admiral Caravance, leaning forward. Her voice was calm, but her eyes were sharp, and right now, they're right. "We cannot win a war with what we have." "Not yet." An old scientist in a grey suit spoke. "There is one way, but it will be dangerous, expensive, and impossible to hide for long." The room grew silent. The scientist pressed a button, and a new hologram appeared. It showed a warship unlike anything humans had ever built. It was massive, larger than the biggest alien dreadnoughts, with weapons built into every surface. Armor so thick that even alien plasma cannons would struggle to break it. Admiral Vance studied the image. "It's beautiful, but what is it?" The scientist smiled faintly. "We call it Project Iron Dawn. Others will call it the Battlestar." In the shadows of the council chamber, far from human space, a figure stood listening. His skin was pale silver, his eyes dark and calculating. He was not laughing like the others. He had fought humans before, in small skirmishes, and he knew something the others did not. Humans never gave up. When the council meeting ended, he activated his personal communicator. "Send a spy into human territory," he ordered. "I want to know what they are building." Weeks later, the spy's small stealth ship entered human space. He used every trick he knew to avoid detection: false transponder codes, sensor, jammers, even cloaking fields. Slowly, he made his way toward the asteroid belt near Jupiter. That was where human traffic seemed to vanish without explanation. Through his scanner, he saw something strange. Huge pieces of metal were floating in space, being moved by dozens of tug ships. Strange energy readings pulsed through the belt. The spy activated his long-range camera, and his heart froze. Through the haze of rock and dust, a dark shape began to appear. It was not finished, but it was enormous. Bigger than anything he had seen in his years of service. This cannot be human," he whispered to himself. Before he could send the image to his homeworld, his ship's systems went dark. A voice crackled through his radio. A human voice. "You are trespassing in restricted space. Surrender or be destroyed." The spy tried to run. His engines flared to life, but before he could escape, a blinding beam of energy sliced through. The void, his ship vanished into nothing. Back on Earth, the war room received the report. "Enemy spy destroyed," said the voice over the secure channel. Admiral Vance allowed herself a small smile. Good. They must not know what's coming. Not yet. In the asteroid belt, the work continued. Thousands of workers, soldiers, engineers, miners, and scientists labored day and night. Every piece of the Battlestar was built in secret. Shielded from alien eyes by clever tricks and decoy fleets, Captain Elias Ward visited the construction site once, riding a small shuttle through the endless rocks. When he saw the giant warship's skeleton stretching across kilometers of space, even he felt a chill. "It's more than a ship," one engineer told him, standing on a platform above the hull. "It's a message to the galaxy, to everyone who thinks we're weak." Elias nodded. "Then let's make sure the message is loud and clear." Meanwhile, back at the Galactic Council, the aliens still laughed. They planned their invasion in public, confident that humanity would fall. But the silver-skinned alien captain kept his doubts. In a private log, he wrote, "They think the humans will break, but I have seen that fire in their eyes before. If they are building something, it may already be too late for us and far away, hidden deep inside the asteroid belt." The Battlestar slowly took shape, a silent promise that the next time the galaxy laughed at humans, it would be the last time. The asteroid belt was a graveyard of stone and shadow, the perfect place to hide something no one was meant to see. For months, ships came and went with no public explanation. Cargo freighters arrived, heavy, and left, empty. Military patrols circled the area constantly, scanning every signal, every shadow. Anyone who came too close was quietly turned away or never seen again. At the center of it all was Project Iron Dawn. The skeleton of the Battlestar stretched across space like the bones of some ancient giant. Massive trusses of titanium alloy connected asteroid to asteroid, each piece holding part of the warship's growing frame. The hull plating was black as midnight, designed to swallow light instead of reflect it. Power conduits as thick as city streets ran along the spine, humming with the slow heartbeat of the ship. Inside a small habitat module, Chief Engineer Lena Moritz floated above a drafting table covered in holographic blueprints. She had designed warships before, frigates, cruisers, even carriers, but this was different. This was bigger. "This is more than metal," she said to her assistant, a young technician named Rog. "It's a statement. The aliens think. We can't build something like this." "They're wrong," Rog nodded. "They'll find out soon enough." Lena shook her head. "No, not soon enough. Every day we stay hidden is another day we grow stronger." In another part of the shipyard, soldiers trained inside zero-gravity combat modules. They practiced boarding maneuvers, heavy armor drops, and emergency repairs under fire. The Battlestar was not just a weapon, it was a fortress, and it would need warriors as well as engineers. Captain Elias Ward visited often, watching the progress in silence. His eyes always went to the ship's prow, a massive angular wedge that would one day hold the most powerful weapon humanity had ever built. One evening, Admiral Vance joined him on the observation platform. She's beautiful, the Admiral said quietly. She's dangerous, Elias replied. The Admiral smiled faintly. Same thing. Far away, the Galactic Council remained blind to the truth. Most believed the rumors of a human supership were just lies spread to slow the invasion. Only one alien captain, the silver-skinned commander named Koresh, still had doubts. Against orders, he sent another stealth probe into human space. It was faster and better cloaked than the last one. The probe slipped past patrols and debris fields, scanning with long-range sensors. It recorded unusual power signatures and strange magnetic fields inside the asteroid belt. But before it could get a clear image, a sudden flare of energy blinded its instruments. In its final moments, the probe transmitted a single, distorted frame, a dark, jagged shape, too large to be anything but a warship. The transmission cut off mid-signal. Koresh stared at the frozen image. So, it's true, he whispered. Meanwhile, the humans accelerated construction. Supply lines stretched across the solar system. Mining stations on the moons of Jupiter and Saturn ran non-stop, tearing raw materials from the rock and ice. Scientists on Mars tested the ship's new plasma shielding, pushing it to extremes until it glowed white-hot. There were close calls. Twice, alien merchant ships wandered near the restricted zone. Both times, human escort frigates intercepted them. The aliens were told they had entered a dangerous mining field and were escorted out. Neither suspected the truth. In one tense meeting, Admiral Vance addressed the top engineers and military leaders. We have 1 year, at most, before the aliens make their move. We finish on time, or Earth will burn. No excuses. Lena Moritz stood and saluted. We will finish. Months passed. The Battlestar grew. Its main engines for colossal fusion drives were installed, each one capable of pushing the ship faster than any alien dreadnought. Its weapon arrays took shape, long-range railguns that could punch through a kilometer of armor, heavy plasma turrets for close combat, missile silos buried deep inside the hull, holding warheads the size of small buildings. But its most secret weapon was hidden in the prow, a massive energy lance capable of unleashing a focused beam strong enough to pierce a planet's crust. Few even knew it existed. One cold morning in deep space, the workers attached the final section of the outer hull. From a distance, the Battlestar now looked complete, a shadow against the stars, its surface crawling with small maintenance. Drones like insects on a sleeping beast. Elias Ward stood on the bridge for the first time. The bridge was a cathedral of technology. Holographic displays floated in the air. Control stations, wrapped in protective armor, and a panoramic view of the ship's forward guns. This is it, Elias said softly. The moment they stop. Laughing, back in alien space, Captain Koresh tried to warn the Council. I have proof the humans are building something massive, he told them. If we attack without knowing what it is, we risk disaster. The insect-like Council leader waved him off. You exaggerate. Humans are building fear, not ships. We attack on schedule. Koresh's jaw tightened. Then you will learn the truth in the worst possible way. As the Battlestar systems came online, a coded transmission went out across human space. Iron Dawn operational, ready for trial run. In the asteroid belt, the great ship's engines glowed for the first time. The black hole shimmered as its shields activated, bending light. Around it, quietly, slowly, the Battlestar moved from its cradle. Drifting into the open void, she was ready to be tested. And soon, the galaxy would see her in battle. Asterisk, the day the aliens chose to strike, the sky above Earth was calm. Cities bustled. Children played, and cargo ships moved between orbital stations. Few civilians knew that far beyond the edge of the solar system, an armada was closing in. In the darkness between the stars, hundreds of alien warships gathered in formation. Sleek cruisers, massive dreadnoughts, and carriers that could launch. Swarms of fighters filled the void. Their hulls glowed with the cold colors of alien alloys. The fleet commander, a four-eyed veteran named Grand Admiral Threx, watched from the bridge of his flagship. "Humanity will surrender within hours," he said confidently. "Their fleets are scattered, their stations undefended. This will be quick," but not everyone on that bridge was so sure. In a dark corner, Captain Koresh, the silver-skinned alien who had seen the blurred image of the Battlestar, stood silent. His instincts screamed that something was wrong. Meanwhile, deep inside the asteroid belt, the Battlestar's crew was preparing for their first mission. The ship's dark hull gleamed faintly under the light of distant suns. Engineers ran final checks. Soldiers strapped into combat seats. Weapons crews loaded railgun slugs the size of cars. On the bridge, Captain Elias Ward stood at the central console. Around him, holographic displays showed the enemy fleet's movements. "They outnumber us," said his tactical officer. "They always have," Elias replied. "Numbers don't win wars. Will does." Admiral Caravance's voice came over the... "Come, Captain Ward. You are cleared to engage. Show them what humanity can do." The Battlestar moved like a ghost through space. Its black armor and shield harmonics bent light, hiding it from enemy sensors. The alien fleet advanced, still unaware. Then, without warning, a burst of encrypted human transmissions went out across the solar system. Iron Dawn in motion. All fleets stand by. On the alien flagship, alarms blared. Something huge is moving. In the asteroid belt, a sensor officer shouted, "Identify." Threx barked, I can't. It's too large. It's bigger than any dreadnought we've seen." The alien fleet adjusted formation. Cruisers moved forward. Weapons powered up. Fighters swarmed out like angry hornets. And then it appeared, out. Of the shadows of the asteroid belt, the Battlestar emerged. Kilometers of armored hull, railguns stretching along its flanks, turrets tracking targets with cold precision. Its prow glowed with the faint hum of its primary weapon. Across every alien ship, Kung chatter fell silent. For the first time, no one laughed at humanity. A channel opened across the fleet. A single human voice spoke. "This is Captain Elias. Ward of the HSS Iron Dawn. You thought we were weak. You were wrong." The Battlestar's forward weapon fired. A beam of white-hot energy lanced across space, striking the alien flagship at its core. Shields shattered in an instant. The massive ship exploded, breaking into burning fragments. The alien formation broke in shock. Panic rippled through the fleet. Koresh stared at the human ship in awe. It was not just large, it was alive with power. Moving with the speed of a predator, railguns thundered, hurling slugs that tore enemy cruisers in half. Plasma turrets bathed alien fighters in burning light. Missiles streaked across the void, striking with surgical precision. For every volley, the aliens fired. The Battlestar's shields flared and held. Nothing broke through. On the human bridge, Elias Ward's voice was calm. "Target the carriers," he ordered. "Without them, their fighters are useless." The Battlestar swung gracefully, unleashing a storm of firepower. 2 alien carriers erupted in flames. Fighters scattered, leaderless. This is madness. Threx shouted aboard his command shuttle, which had barely escaped the flagship's destruction. Retreat, retreat now. But it was too late. The humans had momentum. Smaller human frigates and cruisers, waiting at hidden positions, joined the battle. They tore into the fleeing alien ships like wolves hunting prey. As the alien fleet collapsed, Koresh made his choice. He opened a private channel to the Battlestar. "This is Captain Koresh of the Akari Empire. I wish to surrender my ship and crew. I underestimated your people." Elias studied him for a moment, then replied, "You'll take a message. Back to your council. Tell them, we don't start wars, but we will finish them." The last of the alien ships jumped to faster than light speed, retreating far from human space. The void grew quiet again. On Earth, people watched the news feeds. In disbelief, the giant ship, their ship, drifted back toward the asteroid belt, a black shadow against the stars. Crowds gathered in cities to cheer as the name Iron Dawn appeared across every screen. Humanity had been mocked, underestimated, and nearly threatened with extinction. But now, the galaxy would remember this day as the moment they learned the truth they had ignored. Humans were not weak. The void after battle was strangely peaceful. The wreckage of alien ships drifted silently, their burning hulls casting faint light across the darkness. What was, moments ago, a storm of firepower had become a graveyard. The Battlestar Iron Dawn moved through the debris like a silent sentinel. Its massive black hull bore no scars. The alien weapons had barely touched it. Every railgun was still loaded, every missile silo still full. The ship was ready for another war if one came. On the bridge, Captain Elias Ward stood at the central console, arms folded. Around him, the crew spoke in hushed voices. The adrenaline of battle was fading, replaced by something heavier. The realization of what they had just done. "They're gone," the tactical officer reported. "Last enemy ship jumped to FTL minutes ago." Elias didn't smile. "No, they'll be back, but next time. They'll remember this day." Across the galaxy, news of the battle spread like wildfire. Civilizations that had once mocked humanity now replayed the battle footage in stunned silence. On worlds light years away, alien citizens whispered the name Battlestar. In the private chambers of the Galactic Council, leaders watched the recordings. The insectoid high speaker, who had once laughed the loudest, now sat frozen in his seat. His antennae twitched nervously. How did they build this without us knowing?" he muttered. No one answered. For the first time in decades, the council was afraid. Afraid of a young race from a small blue world. A race that had just challenged and defeated one of the largest fleets in the known galaxy among the alien survivors. Captain Koresh returned to his people with the human message burned into his mind. "We don't start wars, but we will finish them." He repeated those words before the Akari Empress herself. She listened in silence, her silver eyes narrowing. "You believe they will fight again?" Koresh nodded slowly. "If forced, yes. And next time, they will be even stronger." Back in the asteroid belt, the Battlestar returned to its hidden dock. Repairs were minimal. A few scorched panels, a damaged sensor array. The victory had been nearly flawless, but the work was far from over. In a meeting aboard the ship, Admiral Caravans addressed her officers. "The galaxy will see us differently now. Some will think twice before attacking. Others will see us as a threat that must be eliminated. That means we prepare for both." Lena Moritz, the chief engineer, leaned forward. The Battlestar is just the beginning. We can build more. Elias Ward looked at her, then back at the holographic star. Map on the wall, then we'd better start, because they're already plotting their next move. On Earth, the victory was celebrated like no other. In New York, crowds filled Times Square, waving human flags as footage of the battle played on giant screens. In Tokyo, children wore paper helmets painted black to look like the Battlestar. In Paris, a giant holographic projection of the Iron Dawn floated above the Eiffel Tower. For the first time, humanity felt not just safe, but powerful. Yet, in the shadows, not everyone celebrated. In a small bunker beneath London, an encrypted message arrived from deep space. It was a simple transmission, without signature or origin coordinates. It read, "We saw what you built. Impressive. We will see you soon." The message reached Admiral Vance's desk within hours. She read it twice, then called Elias. "Another alien faction?" he asked. "Unknown, but they're watching us. And they don't sound afraid." Elias looked out the window toward the night sky. "Then we'd better make them afraid." In the depths of the asteroid belt, work began quietly, on something even more ambitious than the Battlestar. A vessel larger, faster, and armed with weapons the galaxy had never seen. Few knew about it. Fewer still would live to speak of it. The humans had learned an old truth. Power invites challenges, and somewhere beyond the edges of known space, a new enemy was coming, one that would test them harder than ever before. In the darkness between stars, far beyond human senses, a massive shadow moved. It was not alien, and it was not human. Its shape was unlike anything in the galaxy's records. Its eyes, if they could be called that, burned faintly with red light. And it had heard the name Iron Dawn. The turning of the tide had begun. But the war was far from over.